Level 1. Officer Student. You are 18 when the grey sedan stops beside your school. You expect an arrest. Instead, the man in back offers you a career. He already knows your grades. He knows your youth group record. You hear him name the uncle who sends postcards from the West. That postcard can kill your future before it starts. You do not apply to the Stasi. The Stasi chooses you. You learn volunteers look suspicious. You study the record. Between 1968 and 1975, at least 1,409 people tried. You see only 21 were hired. You watch the recruiter slide a blank form across his knee. You can protect the state, he says. You can earn more than your father. You can enter rooms that ordinary people never see. You sign. First, investigators open your life like a suitcase. Your teachers answer questions. Your neighbors remember jokes. Your relatives become boxes on a diagram. Your Western contact can stain the whole page. Then, you enter officer school. Your new title is Offiziersschüler, officer student. Your uniform feels borrowed. Your oath does not. You study law inside a secret police college. You learn political doctrine, report writing, military discipline, and obedience. You learn a command is not a suggestion. You learn doubt is not private. Your first study year pays 675 marks each month. You receive 725 next. You then receive 775. Your fourth year pays 850. Each raise feels like proof that you chose correctly. You stop telling old friends where you study. You decline a cousin's wedding because Western relatives may attend. You learn to answer simple questions with smooth, empty sentences. Your roommate whispers that his brother wants to leave the country. You report the conversation before breakfast. Your speed earns praise. To advance, you must finish the course, keep your family politically clean, and make obedience look natural. Your instructors do not want courage. Your instructors want predictability. At graduation, a senior officer pins new boards onto your shoulders. You have entered the Officer Corps. Level 2. Unterleutnant. You are now an under-lieutenant, the lowest commissioned officer. To you, the title sounds larger than the office. Your room has a steel cabinet, a scarred desk, and a telephone you cannot trust. You work beneath a watching portrait. You seal the cabinet doors each evening. You carry files between floors. You log folders into registers. You copy instructions using exact approved phrases. You give every page a number, signature, and destination. Your disappointment is useful. The ministry wants to see whether routine can tame you. You learn secrets are mostly paperwork before they become power. Your clearance gives you a strange new sight. You watch ordinary lives flatten into files. You see a complaint become a political attitude. You see a church meeting become a hostile connection. You see a joke become evidence of unreliability. You gain access, but not judgment. You may read what others cannot know. You may not decide what it means. Your superior returns a report covered in red pencil. You wrote that a subject seemed unhappy. You watch him replace unhappy with politically unstable. You make the change. At home, your mother asks whether you help catch spies. You tell her you process government records. The lie protects your job. It also places a pane of glass between you. You do not win promotion through brilliance here. You win through clean files, punctual reports, political study, and a supervisor willing to certify you. You volunteer for dull work. You never miss a deadline. You learn which phrases calm a nervous chief. Then, you receive a field support assignment. You will assist an observation team. You usually wait until at least age 21 for operational work. The night before your transfer, you burn an old address book. Nobody ordered you to do it. That is how the ministry knows you are learning. Level 3. Lieutenant. You are a lieutenant now. Your shoulder boards change. Your freedom does not. The observation unit gives you a camera, a plain coat, and a seat inside a parked car. You watch rain crawl down the windshield. Your subject exits an apartment carrying bread. You write down the time. You watch the subject meet a woman at a tram stop. You watch them speak for several minutes. You cannot hear them. You record the contact anyway. This is your life now. You turn movement into suspicion. Your senior officers choose the target and the reason. You preserve the pattern. You turn doorways, parcels, visitors, lights, and phone calls into a timeline. You gain proximity to operations. Your case is no longer a cabinet number. You see it breathe, shiver, hurry, and look over its shoulder. You also discover how easy it is to make an innocent day look guilty. You remove breakfast, work, and exhaustion. You keep only the secret meeting at a tram stop. You begin missing dinners. Surveillance does not end when your family expects you. You cannot explain why cold coffee and wet socks follow you home. Your partner asks whether someone else is involved. You almost laugh. You know thousands of strangers are involved. You say work is busy. Your ministry rewards calm endurance. You must hold position without attracting attention. You must avoid improvising. You must never become emotionally interested in the person you follow. One evening, you watch the subject buy a small cake. Through an apartment window, you see a family gathering. You watch someone light candles. You see everyone lean close. Your notebook turns the gathering into a cluster of contacts. Your lens turns faces into exhibits. You lower the camera for a second. The next morning, your supervisor asks whether fatigue affected your judgment. You hear a gentle question. You recognize a warning. You rewrite the report with more detail. You request extra shifts. You make your hesitation disappear beneath useful work. To reach the next rank, you need operational reliability. You must see people without joining them. Soon, your reports help open a formal investigation. Your name sits near the bottom of the approval page. You do not ask what happens after the signatures above yours. Level 4, Oberleutnant. As a senior lieutenant, you stop assisting the observer. You become the observer and investigator. Your desk now owns active case files. Your folders contain photographs, copied letters, contact maps, and hidden source reports. You decide which loose thread deserves pulling. Your first subject is not an armed conspirator. You watch him print leaflets after work. You read pages asking for rights the state claims already exist. You visit his workplace under an official pretext. You shake his hand. You notice ink beneath his fingernails. Back at the office, you request more coverage. This rank gives you initiative. You can propose surveillance, interviews, searches, and new sources. A sentence from you can fill parked cars for weeks. You feel intoxicated because the power rarely looks violent. You move paper. Your paperwork makes other people lose sleep. Your superior teaches you to avoid dramatic conclusions. You learn the best investigation grows slowly. You let it surround the subject before he understands the circle. You map friends, co-workers, church contacts, and relatives. You turn each connection into another file. You find another reason to keep watching inside every file. At home, you begin mapping your own conversations by habit. You gain authority over suspicion. Suspicion gains authority over you. Your junior officer brings weak evidence against a factory worker. You could close the lead. Instead, you ask for another week. Your promotion depends on useful cases, disciplined reports, and proof that you can guide human sources. You now need more than technical observation. Your chief places a thin folder before you. The candidate inside knows your leaflet printer. You see his debts, ambition, and frightened face. You must turn him into an unofficial collaborator. You meet inside a quiet apartment controlled by the ministry. You offer recognition first. You offer protection. You show consequences. You hear him agree to return. Your report calls the conversation voluntary. You see a man walking home with a secret he cannot tell anyone. Level 5, Hauptmann. You are a captain and an informant handler. The ministry calls people like yours its key weapon. By 1989, about 189,000 unofficial collaborators will report to the Stasi. That is roughly one for every 90 citizens. Your collaborator arrives through a back entrance. He carries no folder. The fear on his face is enough. You pour coffee. You ask about the leaflet printer. He gives you names, meeting places, private arguments, and a rumor about an escape plan. You never threaten him directly. You mention his debts. You mention his child. You praise his courage. The pressure works better when it sounds like concern. This rank gives you a human network. Observation showed surfaces. Informants open bedrooms, friendships, workplaces, classrooms, and churches. Some collaborators want money. Some want status. Some fear punishment. Some believe they are protecting the country. Your job is to discover the lever and keep a hand on it. You schedule meetings, test reports, compare details, assign tasks, and protect identities. You turn gossip into state property. Your collaborator tells you his marriage is failing. You listen closely because distress can affect reliability. He mistakes your attention for friendship. You write his weakness into the file afterward. At home, your own partner asks why you understand strangers better than family. You have no safe answer. You begin treating every kindness as a technique. Praise becomes leverage. Sympathy becomes preparation. Silence becomes evidence. Your chief wants results without scandal. A visible arrest can create attention. A quiet fracture can remove a problem without producing a hero. You guide your collaborator deeper into the leaflet group. He repeats private doubts and encourages arguments. Members begin accusing one another. The printer stops. Meetings shrink. A friendship collapses. To make major, you must show more than skill with one source. You must plan several cases, manage junior officers, and translate party anxiety into measurable action. You answer yes. Your collaborator misses the next meeting. You recommend pressure through his workplace. The board approves you before he returns. Level 6, Major. As a major, you become a section leader and planning officer. The files now arrive in stacks. Your team handles observers, investigators, and informant handlers. Their signatures gather beneath yours. Your mistakes can spread through every case they touch. You no longer follow a subject through rain. You design the weather. A new operational case targets a small peace group. Members meet in a church room and type appeals. The ministry labels them hostile. The objective is not always prison. A 1976 directive describes another method: split, paralyze, disorganize, and isolate the target. You recommend anonymous rumors. A scholarship vanishes. A landlord receives a complaint. Mail arrives opened. Friends begin suspecting betrayal. No single act looks large. Together, they crush a life. This rank gives you the power of combination. You can connect surveillance, informants, workplace pressure, and administrative favors. The victim sees bad luck. You see a coordinated file. Your junior officer looks sick after reading the plan. You remind him that prevention is kinder than arrest. Your section's success is measured through stability. Protests that never happen become victories nobody can inspect. Careers quietly destroyed become evidence of control. You gain staff, a larger office, and direct access to a department chief. You lose the excuse that you only followed orders. At dinner, your child complains about a teacher. You immediately imagine which pressure point would correct the teacher. Internal security reviews your team. Investigators inspect sloppy paperwork, personal debts, Western contacts, and political jokes. Your officers fear you. You fear the officers inspecting them. To reach Lieutenant Colonel, your section must appear productive and quiet. Your personnel file must remain clean. Your party sponsors must trust your instinct. The peace group dissolves. One member loses his job. Another leaves town. A third stops speaking publicly. Your chief circles the result in blue pencil. Your promotion comes with a handshake and a warning. You are ready to command an office, he says. He does not say who has been assigned to watch you. Level 7, Oberstleutnant. You are a lieutenant colonel, now suitable to lead a department or district office. The Stasi reaches across the country through 15 district administrations and 209 district offices. Your building is one of those local nerve endings. You inherit a concrete block with guarded doors, crowded cabinets, and nervous officers. A district map covers your wall. Colored pins mark factories, churches, schools, barracks, and border routes. There are emigration applicants, clergy, artists, workers, soldiers, visitors, and people who know people in the West. Each group has a file color and a responsible officer. This rank gives you local command. You can shift surveillance teams, prioritize cases, approve recruitment attempts, and demand help from police or workplace officials. People who have never heard your name begin changing their lives because of your signatures. Every local failure can become your failure. An uncensored leaflet appears. A family escapes. A factory protest lasts too long. Headquarters asks why your office missed the warning. You respond by demanding more information. Your officers recruit inside clubs, apartment blocks, classrooms, and work crews. Reports multiply. The useful facts become harder to find beneath the fear. A young captain brings you a collaborator's claim about a planned demonstration. The source is unreliable. The date is vague. You can dismiss it and risk surprise. You can escalate it and punish innocent people. You escalate. Your report describes successful prevention. Your family moves into better housing. Neighbors become polite. Shop managers remember what you need. Privilege makes the system feel competent. But your partner now edits every sentence around you. Your child warns friends not to call the apartment. You have protected your home by making it feel observed. Promotion requires more than local obedience. You must prove that headquarters can trust you with institutional reputation. When inspectors find falsified mileage in a surveillance unit, you sacrifice the unit chief immediately. He once protected you. That history cannot appear. Soon, an Oberst uniform waits inside a tailor's bag. Level 8, Oberst. As a colonel, you can lead a department, run a district office, or serve beneath a main department chief. Your new headquarters contains layers you never knew existed. The ministry has about 200 organizational units. Most employees understand only their corridor. Reports flow upward from district offices and sideways from specialized branches. Foreign intelligence wants one answer. Counterintelligence wants another. Political surveillance wants names before an anniversary. This rank gives you control over scarcity. Cars, cameras, apartments, technicians, promotions, and coveted housing can move with your approval. Officers begin anticipating your preferences. They bring conclusions before evidence. They remove doubts before meetings. You recognize the behavior. You used it to rise. A department proposes an operational case against a theater group. The evidence is thin, but the production mocks official language. Your deputy recommends patience. You imagine the question from above if the play spreads. Weeks later, the lead actor loses work. Rehearsal space disappears. Anonymous letters accuse the director of betrayal. The group breaks apart without an arrest. Your briefing calls the group neutralized. The higher you climb, the cleaner your verbs become. You rarely see victims now. You see totals, trends, and maps. Human damage arrives as administrative calm. At home, privilege reaches its brightest point. There are better holidays, special shops, and invitations that once seemed impossible. You cannot enjoy them freely. Every guest may be evaluating you. Every subordinate knows something useful. Every rival collects mistakes. The ministry has files on society. It also has personnel files, party files, discipline files, and security reports on itself. Your promotion toward the generals depends on political trust. Competence matters. Loyalty matters more. A powerful sponsor matters most. You receive a sealed invitation to the senior officers' dining building. The room has white tablecloths and guarded conversation. A general asks whether you can manage a district administration. You say you can manage anything the party requires. That answer becomes your final examination. Level 9, General Major. You are a Major General. You now lead a main department or a district administration. The stars on your shoulder boards change how rooms behave. Officers rise before you speak. Secretaries clear hallways. Drivers wait beside polished cars. Your district administration sits above every local office in its territory. The wall map is larger now. So is the fear behind it. You receive reports on factories, churches, schools, the armed forces, border activity, and political moods. One folder can contain a district's entire morning. This rank gives you command at scale. You can move staff between offices. You can elevate local cases. You can call party leaders and expect an answer. You also inherit 17 investigation prisons across the ministry's system as a fact of power. Cells stand behind the paperwork. Your signatures no longer start only surveillance. They can push people toward interrogation, detention, or a ruined future. A district officer reports growing frustration among young workers. He recommends listening. Your political superior demands control. You order expanded coverage. More coverage produces more criticism. More criticism justifies more coverage. The machine proves its own necessity. Your weekly meeting becomes a theater of certainty. Colonels compete to sound alert. Nobody wants to report that a threat is smaller than expected. You reward the officer who brings the darkest forecast. At night, you read security reports about your own staff. One colonel drinks, another has a Western cousin. A third has made jokes about senior leadership. You can end careers with a note. You can also create enemies with every note you write. The privileges are now unmistakable. Your home, driver, medical access, and dining rooms separate you from ordinary citizens. Old friends speak formally. Family members request favors. Your partner no longer knows whether affection or protection keeps the marriage intact. Promotion requires success, silence, and selection from the top. General rank is not a staircase everyone climbs. It is a narrowing corridor. You survive an inspection by blaming an ambitious colonel for delayed reporting. His career stops, yours continues. For the first time, the uniform looks less like armor than a target. Level 10, General Lieutenant. As a Lieutenant General, you remain a main department or district administration leader, but your seat moves closer to the center. Rank does not simply add another office. It changes who must listen. You attend conferences where central chiefs trade fragments of the country. Foreign agents, domestic opposition, military loyalty, communications, and economic strain meet on the same table. In 1988, the Central Ministry controlled 1,856 officers in special deployment. There were 665 in foreign intelligence, 464 in communications and cipher units, 139 in economic branches, and 115 in counterintelligence. District administrations managed another 440. These officers live behind constructed careers. Some work in institutions that do not know their true employer. Their reports let the ministry occupy rooms without displaying a uniform. You gain a view across hidden systems, but no view is complete. Departments protect sources. Generals protect domains. Reports are shaped for the reader above. The institution built to know everything cannot admit what it does not know. You compensate with pressure. A main department chief softens an assessment about public anger. You accuse him of complacency. The revised report is harsher and less accurate. Your power now depends on access to the deputy ministers. You cultivate agreement without looking eager. You support the safest rival and avoid the most isolated one. Your family feels the choreography too. A relative's careless comment can become ammunition. A child's choice of friends can trigger concern. Love becomes another security perimeter. You once believed high rank would end scrutiny. High rank makes scrutiny strategic. An internal report questions whether your district underestimated church networks. You summon colonels, demand action, and create fresh case numbers. The resulting arrests produce anger. The anger produces larger reports. Your response produces praise for vigilance. To become Colonel General, you need appointment as a deputy minister. There are few chairs and many decorated men waiting near them. You do not win by being the most imaginative. You win by being useful, loyal, and difficult to blame. When a superior falls ill, you assume his briefings without celebration. You deliver certainty in every room. Soon, the empty chair becomes yours. Level 11, General Oberst. You are a Colonel General and Deputy Minister. Only the minister stands above you in the operational hierarchy. The rest of the building becomes a set of vertical lines leading toward your desk. At the headquarters campus, 7,000 full-time staff work across about 50 buildings. Records fill entire blocks. Foreign intelligence, surveillance, leadership, archives, and support services occupy their own guarded worlds. You can cross those worlds with a phone call. This rank gives you portfolios, generals, and direct control over large branches. You review leadership appointments, you settle conflicts between departments, you decide which warnings reach the minister. Bad news can damage the messenger. Soft news can damage the state. You spend meetings measuring which danger is closer. Reports describe rising emigration, public frustration, church activity, and declining trust. Your subordinates recommend stronger measures because stronger measures are what the machine knows. You approve surveillance, pressure, and disruption. The results produce more anger. You call the anger hostile influence. Your language has completed its transformation. At officer student, you hid doubts. As deputy minister, you rename reality. The privileges are absolute by ordinary standards. Guards open gates, drivers wait. Senior dining rooms serve you. Your calendar moves other lives. Yet you cannot walk into a neighborhood unnoticed. You cannot complain safely. You cannot retire into innocence. The minister asks whether the apparatus remains loyal. You say yes. You have read enough personnel reports to know the answer is complicated. Morale is thinning. Younger officers hear jokes from their own children. Even loyal staff wonder what the files can still save. You keep that uncertainty out of the briefing. Promotion to Army General does not come from another evaluation sheet. It comes from the party's highest leadership choosing you to command the ministry. You wait for a vacancy that may never come. The party wants reassurance. The generals want continuity. You have spent a lifetime becoming the safest answer. The appointment arrives inside a sealed folder. You open it alone. Level 12, Army General. You are Army General, the minister at the top of the Stasi. About 91,000 full-time employees now sit beneath your command. They operate through 15 district administrations, 209 district offices, headquarters units, prisons, archives, and hidden networks. Your ministry is political secret police, investigative authority, and foreign intelligence service at once. It is armed, military, centralized, and answerable to party power. The desk is wide. The phones are secure. Guards stand outside. Cabinet keys ride in your pocket. You can order more surveillance across a country already saturated with it. You can demand reports from every district. You can promote a loyal colonel and erase a doubtful one. By autumn 1989, crowds gather in streets and churches. People speak openly after 40 years of control. Reports arrive faster than your staff can summarize them. Each report offers the same remedy: more information, more pressure, more control. You approve emergency meetings. You demand district assessments. You ask whether the police will obey. For the first time, the answers do not become safer as they move upward. Your generals watch your face. They have spent their careers learning how to mirror confidence. You have spent yours rewarding the mirror. Now, you need truth from people trained to protect you from it. The machine knows millions of private facts. It does not know how to survive citizens losing fear. Outside, demonstrators carry candles. Inside, officers lock cabinets. Paper shredders run. Telephones ring through empty offices. You move from map to map, but the colored pins no longer describe control. They describe places where control is failing. The privileges remain for a little longer. The driver waits. The guards salute. The dining room sets its tables. The institution is stripped of power during the peaceful revolution. It legally ceases to exist on June 30th, 1990. Your final office contains the evidence of your climb: school records, promotion orders, medals, case summaries, and signatures. At every level, you gained access, then authority, then distance, then fear. You began as a nobody selected because you looked reliable. You end as the most powerful watcher in a country that has stopped obeying. The files outlive the ministry. They preserve the people you watched. They also preserve you.